Well, as we try to pick up the pieces from what may be the biggest bubble yet known to human markets, we are perhaps building up the next one. Some are still reeling from the dot-com bubble. Americans and people around the world are now dealing with the aftermath of the housing bubble. But perhaps that's just the way humans are, irrationally exuberant. Maybe that's just who we are. And maybe there's another reason. Maybe we need to go from one bubble to another, and the next one is inflating at this very moment. Erin Janszen is the founder and president of iTulip.com. He doesn't sell flowers. We're going to explain exactly why he has that name with him. He has written the cover story in the February Harper's Magazine called "The Next Bubble, Preparing the Markets for Tomorrow's Big Crash." Also with us to take issue with Mr. Janszen's view is Stephen Davis, an economist with the University of Chicago. All right, great to have both of you with us. Got this magazine here. It was a great read. I have to admit, it caught my attention, Eric. Let me ask you, first, iTulip.com, am I correct in assuming that is a play on something that happened in the Netherlands a couple hundred years ago?
Yeah, I started out as a parody of an internet company back when I was managing director of Osborne Capital. It was a seed stage venture firm. And it started off as just a way to warn people but without beating them over the head.
Right. We all know about the first bubble, I guess everyone talks about, the Dutch tulip bubble. Okay, so let's just go through the theory here, right, is that people need to have bubbles. It's getting all excited and way overinflating a situation. That's just the way humans work.
Well, more to the point, we've really gone through a series of two asset inflations. The first one was equity financed in the technology industry, and the second one was debt financed in the real estate industry. And the point is that our system, the combination of the way our political system works and our markets work and our economy works, tends to develop these asset inflations.
All right, so before we bring in Professor Davis, Eric, the next bubble is, drum roll please,
alternative energy and infrastructure.
And we just heard Saudi Arabia just say, what, $500 billion is going in infrastructure? You're talking about the global boom of building roads and
well, I was actually
using
talking
ethanol
about
to power cars?
Well, what I mean is instead of sending our money to Dubai to build their infrastructure, we build infrastructure here.
All right, wait. So one more explanation. We build infrastructure here, meaning what? The fix bridges like in Minneapolis?
Well, the entire energy infrastructure gets revamped. Long-distance rail, rebuild our automobile industry, the entire gambit to build a new nuclear industry in order to create better energy independence and energy security.
All right, Professor Davis, what do you think of that?
Yeah, well, let me try to put things in some larger perspective. What Mr. Janszen calls bubbles might also be called financial development, or the hiccups that are associated with financial development. And if you look over the last 25 years, when some of these bubbles that Mr. Janszen talks about have occurred, economists also call that the period of the Great Moderation. We've by and large had healthy growth and pretty mild business cycles. If you look, for example, at jobless claims right now, they're near 40-year lows. So bubbles kind of suggest there might be something dangerous afoot, and it's certainly the case that the financial system is under some strain right now. But by and large, the economy's done quite well in the last 25 years with the developments associated with bubbles.
So you're saying we're maybe irrational exuberance, but the economy can stomach it?
Yeah, there are costs and benefits associated with developing a financial system. We are seeing some of the costs now. But on balance, I think the benefits greatly outweigh the costs.
And Eric, you also had said, on the point of what the bubble, the next bubble is, you had said that we're in a situation here where this bubble, the alternative energy infrastructure bubble, is going to be bigger than the housing bubble. And I have to admit, I'm skeptical about that because everybody owns a home. Right? I mean, the housing bubble affected absolutely every single American, but an alternative energy bubble, it seems a bit more specific, would only affect some people, or what am I missing?
Well, I understand. Remember, after the dot-com or the technology, it was largely telecommunications and other technology industry. After that bubble collapsed in 2000, the U.S. economy actually went through a recession, a brief recession in 2001. It would have been much deeper and much longer had we not subsequently had a housing bubble, which inflated a different part of the economy. And if you look at job growth, for example, a lot of jobs are lost in the technology industry. A lot of those people moved over into the real estate industry. So that sector of the economy essentially rescued the whole economy over the last few years. Now, as that bubble dissipates and the financial markets start to react to the recessionary forces that have been unleashed by this decline in the real estate industry, now that the economy needs to find a way to dissipate a few $1 trillion of fictitious value that's built up in the markets.
Can I just make a comment about that?
Eric, thank you very much. Professor Davis, thanks to both of you. We appreciate it.